watch Taylor Swift.
Let me add to that. Do you think Taylor would be good at working out whodunit and a murder mystery?
Hi.
Myles Galloway, iHeartRadio Canada. Hey, how are you both?
Great. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching this movie. Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. My favorite mystery of the series so far. Absolutely loved it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Cailee, with it being a Knives Out mystery, you knew going in this was going to be a heavyweight ensemble cast. What was it like being on set, seeing who you were sharing some of these scenes with?
Well, I was very excited, but incredibly nervous. My first day on set, things shifted around. I thought I was going to ease into it, but no. The first day on set was with the entire cast. So it's Mila, and it's Glenn Close, and it's Kerry Washington, and it's Daniel Craig, and it's Andrew Scott. And I really tried to play it cool, but yeah, my first scene I had to like smoke a cigarette, and my hand was shaking, and Glenn was trying to teach me how to inhale. It was so embarrassing. But everyone was amazing, and I really remember we finished that first scene together as a group, and you're thinking like, okay, is everyone gonna go back to their trailer? Like, what's the vibe? I'm sort of following everyone's lead, and we all went to that tent, and that never changed. The whole shoot, we just wanted to hang out and tell stories and giggle, and it was the best experience.
Mila, when you get the script to a Knives Out mystery, I can only imagine the first thing you want to do is skip right to the end and find out who did it.
Yes.
Did you remember when you found out?
Yes. When I had to read the script in order. I couldn't skip to the end because of the way that the script is presented. You couldn't flip to the end of the page or the end of the script. So the first thing I asked Rian, I was like, whether I'm in this movie or not, who's the dead one and who did it? And he was like, I'm not going to tell you. And so, yes, I was desperate to know who did it. But I'll tell you, could I have figured it out while reading it? I got like 10% of it right. And then I would say 90% is impossible. But I got like 10%, right? Like I got one of the things, but I definitely didn't get the majority of the twist.
Josh, when preparing for this role of a boxer turned priest, did you spend more time rehearsing punches or prayers?
Good question. Prayers. I mean, I think I did do some boxing actually, and we, I mean, hilariously, I found myself in the studio gym with Daniel Craig, which is an absolute nightmare. The first session we ever did, Daniel suggested doing it as a pair, and I left halfway through pretending I needed to pee, and I vomited. And it was like, he's chaotic. That man could do everything. No, I mean, the boxing is important insofar as, anything is important if there's a skill or if there's a kind of past to a character. And obviously we do see him briefly, hitting a bag. But certainly the prayer, the faith, those elements of forgiveness and understanding and doubt, those were more of the focus. And Rian and I had lots of conversations around that, which is really the driving force for Judd.
Rian, when you're building one of these mysteries, what comes first for you? Is it the murder, the murderer, the murder weapon?
No, it's actually none of those things. A big thing if you're writing a murder mystery is to remember that as fun as all the murder mystery bits of it are, all the clues and even the solution of whodunit, the reality is that's not going to keep an audience entertained for 2 hours. What you need to start with are the same basics that any movie starts with, which is who is the protagonist, what do they want, why can't they get it, how do they end up getting it at the end in the way they didn't expect. That very, very basic muscular arc that is what keeps you engaged with any story, whether it's a movie you're watching in the theater or an anecdote somebody's telling you over lunch of what happened that morning. We lean forward when we're worried about people that we are engaged with. So I start with that. I started with Father Judd's story. I started with kind of the story of this priest who wants to be a good priest, comes up against this immovable force of a bad priest, and then has to kind of deal with the fallout of trying to be a priest in the middle of being in a murder mystery.
Cailee, when you're basically living in this church for most of the film, is this the longest you've ever spent in one, and were you ever scared?
Oh my God, that's so funny.
No, I grew up in church. I was like very intense Christian Baptist girl. I was there like 3 times a week. I was on the worship team singing harmony. It was pretty full on. So no, I've fair share of time in the church.
Josh, at one point in the movie, Josh Brolin launches this fairly hefty book at your head. How many times did you have to let him do that to get the shot?
Not too many times. He did hit me once, just on the ear, and it was very gentle, I will say. So he was obviously. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of rage, but no, yeah, I managed to avoid too many takes. Josh is a professional, so he doesn't need too many takes. Thankfully.
Ryan, Ryan, have you and Daniel ever joked that he might end up making more Knives Out movies as Benoit Blanc than he did as Bond? He's almost there.
Yeah, we haven't even counted them up yet. Yeah, no, we never talked about that. But I mean, I feel like with Daniel, I look, we have so much fun making these things, and I'm very grateful that the instant we're not having fun making them, we'll stop. I feel like as long as we can keep surprising ourselves, and hopefully that means surprising the audiences and challenging ourselves with each of these and trying something different each time, I'll keep going, man. Let's get into our Octopussy years. Let's go all the way down the line with it. Come on, let's get down to the living daylights.
Cailee, who's better, Glenn Close on the organ or you on the cello?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's gotta be Glenn on the organ.
No, it's Cailee. Glenn on the organ is comical.
No,
okay?
it's so good. It's so good.
Glenn, like dun 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 dun. But she actually learned to play the cello.
I learned how to play half a song.
Whatever. You look beautiful doing it.
It was a lot of fun.
And it's like a whole body movement, and you got the notes right, and all the things. Glenn and the thing is just like dun 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 dun. It's so good.
Mila, is there a song or any kind of music that takes you back to filming this?
Oh
my God, I love that question.
Yeah, it's a great question.
Well, I always have a playlist for characters. There was a lot of Dropkick Murphys for Father Judd, which is kind of, I guess, surprising, but there's something about the Irishness and then also the sort of violence underneath it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, one of their songs, I guess.
That's perfect.
It has nothing to do with the movie, but I went to see a Morgan Wallen concert in Hyde Park, and it was the whole thing was so fun and beautiful. And seeing a concert in London outside in the summer
it was a beautiful summer in London.
Yes, it was a perfect London summer, and so though that concert doesn't have anything to do with the movie, in the middle of the movie I went and saw this concert, and so I think I'll always have some sort of sense memory to that.
By the sounds of it, had an amazing time filming this. It was so fun to watch. And
wait, one more. Wait, I'll give you one more. I also went to Wembley to watch Taylor Swift.
You did?
Oh, wow.
Yes. And so, yes, I did. It was insane. It was the craziest
I'm so
experience.
jealous.
What? Why didn't you come with me?
You didn't invite me.
I'm so sorry.
Let me add to that. Do you think Taylor would be good at working out whodunit and a murder mystery?
Yes,
absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. She's a genius.
She would figure it out.
I only say that because her fans definitely would. So
yeah, exactly. She wouldn't. Yes, exactly. Her fans would figure it out.
Well, thank you so much. Cailee, Mila, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out Mystery, select theaters November 26th and on Netflix December 12th. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.